Come in. Yeah, the green screen came in. As you can see, it's just something attached to my chair here. And so you can still see the white corners of my wall, but less of the wall, including, unless you're talking about the wall at Intuit Dome behind me. I mean, my wall, which has a pretty obvious and annoying scuffed up part of it that's been bugging me for some while. So I thought I'd just clear things up with a green screen. Make things easy that way. F your first, says Mio. Well, I can't be first in the chat myself. What do you guys think of the green screen? Is this better? Is this worse? Should I go with something else for the background? Intuit Dome obviously seems like the way to go. You got the big Halo board. I feel more at home than just being at my home when I have the Intuit Dome background while I'm still seeing my kitchen in front of me. I left video of clips and dip to join. Oh, well, you should definitely check that out later, or you can go back to it right now. That tried to interfere with the good show we did earlier with Chuck Mockler and William Updike. The mark on the wall added character. I don't know about that. Yanni Tears said you have a halo over you, such an angel. Yeah, but there's still this devil over here. Do you guys see it? Is it still there? Can't tell. Yeah, welcome in. It's Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. Was watching this Lakers Phoenix Suns game, hoping the Suns can win, not just because they're taking on the Lakers, but also so they get fat and happy before they play the Clippers on Thursday. Get to feeling better about themselves, and maybe the Clippers game ends up being a trap game for them after the Clippers take on the Portland Trail Blazers in a trap game on Wednesday, possibly right before the Phoenix Suns game on October 31st. That would be Halloween. This is Halloween. So appreciate you guys in here. I'll keep you monitored or keep you abreast of the situation of what's going on with the Lakers right now, as they're down 63-59 with 7:02 left here in the third quarter. Straightaway three, Rui Hachimura drains it. Make it 63-62. That's annoying. Yeah, AD has been a problem, guys. He looks really good. He and LeBron have carried over, I guess you could say, from what they were doing in the Olympics. They were two of the best players, if not the two best players on the Olympic team. And it has continued now in the regular season. I told you opening night, I felt like going into this year, the Lakers, if they stay healthy with JJ Redick, are a 50-win team in the Western Conference. It's a big if. They got 70 games out of LeBron and AD last season. I don't expect that to continue. But I do have a couple of topics to get into tonight. TT Wims said, let's go Clippers. Hi, Adam. What's up? How are we feeling about the green screen? You love the TMNT poster, though. Last Ronin movie being made. Ooh, is that the one where you don't know which Ninja Turtle survived the apocalypse or whatever? I know that's a comic that's out there. My buddy was reading it. They leave it a mystery. Is it Raphael? Donatello? Michelangelo's a party dude. Leonardo leads. Is it Venus, the female turtle from the awful show that was on Fox for a little bit? If you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was bad. It was live action, and it was bad. MKXLNT is in here. Double A, Clipper Nation, what is up? I need feedback. I need feedback on the green screen. I know you can still see the corners of the wall. Unless I get closer to the desk. No, still see a corner. Still see it. Oh, that's annoying. Cannot fill the screen with this thing. Whatevs. It covers the wall. What more do you need? TT Wim said covers the wall with a wall. Can't wait for Clippers Trailblazers at Intuit Dome. Same. I'm excited for that ball game after a very successful weekend, you have to say. I was a little bit down, and I'll get into the reasons why earlier on Clips and Dip. But you cannot complain about winning two of the first three games when it's Phoenix, Denver, and Golden State, and the last two were on the road in a back-to-back. Banchero dropped 50. Didn't he have 30 in the first half or almost 40 in the first half? Did he kind of cool off a little bit? Still impressive. I know that's a new career high for him. Orlando's good. Their defense was really good last season. Offensively, they got a bunch of young guys who are getting better. Plus, they brought in KCP. I do kind of have interest in seeing this score now. As we can go around the league, it's that type of show. It's an all-NBA show, but centered around the Clippers still. We've done one of these so far. That was opening night for the Lakers taking on Minnesota. What was the final in that Orlando game? 119-115. Is that what I'm looking at here? That score just jumped on me. Yeah, they beat the Pacers at home. Pascal Siakam at 26. Paolo Banchero with 50, 13, and 9. Just missed out on the triple-double. Kings currently up 51-43 on the Portland Trail Blazers. So Portland got a victory against the Pelicans. They had a 2-game mini-series. They're playing tonight, obviously, but they just beat up on the Pelicans at home. This was yesterday, I believe. Final score was 125-103. They lost the first game by 2 at 105-103 up at Moda Center. It was a 2-game mini-series is what I'm calling these things. I like them because, first of all, it helps with the travel in the NBA. Second of all, you kind of get more of a playoff feel for adjustments playing the same team 2 games in a row. As AD just put Mason Plumlee in the spin cycle, who tried to foul. Instead, it just ends up in a really bad and one. Why are you even... it wasn't much of a foul, but unnecessary. Just let him get the bucket if he's that deep in the post. Welcome in. This is Clippers Talk. It's an all-NBA Clippers Talk After Dark edition. I'll be with you for the next, hour or so. We'll see how this goes. I mostly just wanted to try out the new background with the green screen here. The screen is like a portable thing attached to my chair. See, it's got the straps there. Strap in. And I like this Intuit Dome background. I'll see how it goes. Rock said, I have said and will continue to say, Paul George, if the offer was anywhere near the same, had better title hopes with the Magic over 76ers. If you're talking about injuries, you might be right. Obviously, Joel Embiid's more proven than anyone on the Orlando Magic. And Tyrese Maxey is a young buck who's been relatively healthy and just dropped, 45 yesterday? So I don't know. That may be a little bit off. Sal's talking about the TMT Last Ronin movie being made, asking about that. TT said the new green screen is awesome. Okay. Looking for opinions on this. Mike Dang said it takes guys more than 3 games to get into some game shape stamina. Not concerned yet about Harden being tired. That could be part of it. Depends on how you see it. Maybe I'll ask Coach Lou about that on Wednesday. That very well could be the case. But when I see Rui Hachimura, right wing 3 now, he is starting strong this year, guys. A lot of his stuff has been in the post. Now he's taking Phoenix out to the outside. Lakers up 70-66. Don't like that. William Blass likes it. Mikey likes it. Was that an old Kicks commercial? I guess I'll go with it then. If you guys are into it, I'll keep it going. I just got this thing in the mail a little bit earlier from Amazon. I think it cost me $60, so I'm glad you like it because at first I'm still annoyed. Maybe if I attach a little bit more of a green blanket to the corners, you won't be able to see that. And it did come with one of those too. It's cool with the K. And the Lakers are ticking me off. They were up by 18 points in the first quarter. So the Suns came back and had the lead at the half, but currently Lakers up by 4. I'm going to play some video for you in a little bit. We're going to talk about Terance Mann. We're going to talk about James Harden as we get into the health concern from my point of view, the fatigue concern to be more accurate. Sal said, need to get that background from my Microsoft Teams. TT said, Chris Dunn has that dog in him. Great pickup by the Clips. I know. I had already posted something with Chris Dunn having the dog in the ribcage thing. And then I saw the Clippers account, the official account, did it today. I was like, wait a second. I had this. I had it for real. I'll play it for you. I think it just confirms that obviously the X-ray came back and it is confirmed. Talking about this back in Honolulu. I made this little clip for you guys. I don't think I can play the sound or else it's going to end up flagging my video. I used the DMX song, but I'll share the screen here just so you can see. I've been saying he's got that dog in him. This was on October 1st. Look it. You see it? The X-ray. I blended it in with the Clippers shirt. And then today, the Clippers account came out with it. This was me showing. Chris Dunn said, I can get a little chippy sometimes. All the plays he has had in his career, maybe not all of them, all the ones I could find with him getting in a kerfluffle. Yeah. Here's one with him and Russ. Shoves him back. Couple more here. Hit on the top of the head on Trae Young. Here's him getting into it with Blake Griffin. Chris Dunn is about it. Shohan. So we knew this. No surprise. This is who he is. Just zoom your camera in slightly to crop out the corners. I don't know how, man. I really don't. It's bad, but I don't. Mistakes were made here. The video resolution, auto, mirror. Yeah, I don't know how to zoom it in anymore here. The technology, or I'm failing the technology, actually. Rock said, I just don't see, similar to Kawhi, that Embiid's legs can last 4 rounds of championship-level ball to win it all. Hell, Joel can't get past the second round and only gets older. Is Embiid 30 or 31 now? As he's coming off a meniscus and still not playing. He's 30. Just turned it in March, so throughout most of the season, he'll be 30. Yeah. From one injury-plagued situation to another, and it's not like Paul George is exempt or always healthy, exempt from injuries. He has his own concerns. So wherever he goes, there's going to be an injury concern, whether it's from him and the recent hyperextension with the left leg once again with the bone bruise, or somebody on his team. Before it was Kawhi, now it's Embiid. Ray said, let me add that this background is fire. Okay, I'm glad. Daniel Figueroa said, I hope we don't stop feeding Zubac when Kawhi comes back. Well, I don't know if he'll get it as much. Kawhi's going to take 17 to 21 shots per game. But it could actually make Zubac even more efficient because so much attention goes Kawhi's way, guys. You saw how many double teams he faced last season, even with James Harden and Paul George on the floor. It honestly could make life easier on Zubac as the word is getting out that he can be dominant in the post now. Ray said we need to send over 60 super stickers. I don't know what that means. Rock said, I'm happy for JJ. I'm not. Got to be honest. I was mad when they got him because I figured he'd be a good head coach. If you know ball, you know JJ Redick is a basketball savant. Mike Dang said, just zoom in your camera. Yeah, I don't know how. Richard Heacock said, just jumping on. Great background, Adam. Thank you, Richard. David Roska said, LA Clippers will win it again tomorrow night live. Well, they don't play till Wednesday, but I could still probably do a live for you tomorrow night. Miss Shake said, you're a fossil like me, Adam. Is that referring to technology? Miss Shakes. Richard Heacock said, I think it's so underrated how well these guys have blended and bonded in a short period of time. I agree with you there. I am not completely shocked by that, but the type of victories the Clippers have been able to get, I think, have formed the bond even more. Ooh, I almost had the screen full just for a second. You see that? You see that almost a quarter? Ah! got it. If I just get close enough. Saying Hoop said, "What's up, Adam?" Rock said, "Paul George is the king of freak injuries on the court." Unfortunately, feel bad for the guy. You never want to see anybody get injured. Clipper Nation been through too much with that. But yeah, these guys have come together. They've meshed. Training camp was good for them. Maybe that's part of the reason PJ Tucker was sent home. Bad vibes. Not just the fact, if your guy wants to be traded and not be here, you don't want the rotten apple to spoil the bunch. And I'm not saying PJ Tucker's a bad guy or anything like that, but obviously he wasn't willing to go into that good vet mode, just be happy to be on a team, help guys out as the elder statesman. He's 39 years of age. He wants to go to another team. He wants to go to a contender where he can play, even though he was just on a contender last season and showed he's probably not ready, or probably not in the same spot he was a couple of years ago where he can really help a team. TT said, "I wonder how long it will take KPJ to start getting comfortable and start hitting his shot. He's certainly still shooting the ball with confidence, so that's good." Well, he's shooting it. I can't speak on the confidence part because it's not going in enough. And that is concerning. Talked about it earlier with Justin Russo. He came on with me at about 11 a.m. on a live here. It was good to have at Fly By Night, KNITE in, and I'll play some video he posted a little bit earlier on X too, pertaining to a conversation we had about Clippers defenders and just how good their lockdown corners are. He had a good comparison as he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You can probably guess where I'm going there. But this is something where he mentioned he believed KPJ changed his shot a little bit. It looks a little bit different. I don't know if anyone's confirmed that, but obviously I think he's 5 for 25 so far through 3 games. The shots aren't falling. It looks to me like rhythm and time is off. And to further that point is, KD's grabbing his, looks to be okay. He was grabbing his left wrist for a second. Lakers up 77-73. Kevin Durant heading to the line for 2. But speaking of, Kevin Porter Jr. at the end of the first quarter yesterday up at Chase Center blew a simple scoop layup. A play he would make, 98 times out of 100. And I just thought to myself, the game's moving too fast for him right now. His rhythm, his timing is just not there. That's what I'm seeing from Kevin Porter Jr. He looks like a guy who missed a year of NBA basketball, and there's no way to get those reps in other than to go through this learning curve right now. This hopefully 1 step back before 2 steps forward. TT said Clippers' big 3 of Zoo, Harden, Powell could be enough to carry this team until Kawhi comes back. We'll see. This version of Ivica Zubac is getting, 23 and 12 right now. I don't know, though, coming off 2 games where he almost went for 80 minutes total combined over the weekend, if he can keep that up. And that's part of what I want to talk about. Chris said that injury from the Magic player was nasty. Reminded me of Paul George and Hayward's injury. I didn't see it. I'm glad. He said it's Jazz player now. Yawning Tears said KPJ should focus on his free throws because those could get his confidence going for his shot. Possibly. What is he shooting at the charity stripe so far? Kevin Porter Jr. did end up a plus 16 yesterday because he's been in these lineups next to Amir Coffey, Chris Dunn, Nico Batum, and Ivica Zubac that have been starting second and fourth quarters, and they've been really good for this team. I'll look up the lineup data here in a second, but I know they're a positive right now. And Kevin Porter Jr. probably had his best game, definitely had his best game of the season so far. Should work on his free throws. He's taken 2 so far, and he's made 2. So I don't know if he can work on his free throws any more than that. My guy, Yawning Tears. You mean getting to the charity stripe to begin with? You just want to see him attack more? Is that what you're saying? Mike Dang said KPJ hasn't played in a while. It'll take a while to shake off the rust. Do the Clippers have that much time? He's looked bad. I said in the preseason I could see this guy starting at some point. Now, it could be much later this season. It could be next year. But his shooting stroke seems to be off. He did hit a right elbow jumper, and that's where he was knocking down the preseason. That had me more hopeful. But preseason basketball, regular season basketball, level of competition is not the same, and he hasn't looked the same so far. Timing, rhythm, touch hasn't been there. I mean, he's missed dunks, he's missed layups. That's just, to me, that's the sign of a guy who needs to knock off a ton of rust. William Blast said Derek Jones brings an element we truly didn't have last year. Truly didn't have for years. Vertical threat like that. That lob from beyond half court from James Harden to him in the first half, that was special. Derek Jones brought that up from his hips. The ball was low, and he still threw it down, and James Harden threw that from maybe 60 feet out. It was incredible. Mikey Lapp said, I'm not worried about KPJ or Mann yet so early. Clippers are still winning games, should be 3-0. You can argue they should be 3-0. You can also argue they easily could be 1-2. They could have lost one of those games over the weekend. Those were tight contests, but they pulled through. They showed a ton of poise. Golden State made 3 runs in the second quarter and to the third, and then about the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter, and the Clippers answered each and every one. That's what's so impressive to me about this team right now. Just the composure when they needed to have it, when they needed to get shots. And I know it's tough to come by right now offensively. As much as we are praising Zoo and what they're able to do, they're still 23rd offensively in net in per 100 possessions. Their offensive rating. They're 23rd. Defensively, though, they're 3rd. Still too early. I usually wait 10 games at least to start looking at the ratings. Mo said, Ty is letting KPJ play through his mistakes like he did for Amir early on. I think the reasoning with KPJ and why they're giving him a long leash and why he's in front of Bones Highland is because, one, Bones has just been out with this coaching staff. It looks like he's been in the doghouse, or for whatever reason, they don't trust him out there. Going back to last year, part of it, I think, is his fault. It seemed like he dropped his shoulders and didn't play serious basketball at the end of games when he was brought in during garbage time. Maybe he thought that was beneath him. Lakers far side corner 3, Spencer Dinwiddie, 83-74. Lakers up by 9 with 8 seconds left in the third. But you can't do that as a young player still trying to make it in this league and to carve out a role for yourself. Ooh, Devin Booker, tough runner on the left elbow over Austin Reeves, 1.8 seconds left. Here's a half-court heave. D'Lo over the top of the backboard. Almost hit the shot clock. 83-76 Lakers, end of the third. Annoying. Bones doesn't seem to have the trust. Kevin Porter Jr. starting the season as the backup point guard over Bones Highland, to me, says Bones is almost break glass in case of emergency at this point. If KPJ gets suspended, JVG for MVP. But Kevin Porter Jr., the upside, I think, is higher with him over Bones because of his size and what he could project to be. And he has averaged 19 points per game in this league before. I don't care who you're playing for. That's not easy to do. But you have to put in the caveat and talk about under the conditions of one of the most dysfunctional teams ever with the Houston Rockets, as my guy Dime would say at that time. That Rockets team was miserable. They had no direction. He got a lot of playing time. He got a lot of starts. And he averaged 19 points and shot 37% from 3 one season. So he's proven more than Bones, you can say. But I think it's because of his height, his size, his length. He's a bigger body. He doesn't get picked on as much. defensively. He can play good defense at times. He had a couple of steals yesterday. I thought KPJ obviously had his best game so far as a Clipper against the Golden State Warriors. And it's easy to say that, but I'll bring up some plays. I mentioned the right elbow jumper. That seems to be his shot, that little fadeaway there. Hit that at the 2:45 mark of the first quarter. Then he got downhill to end the first quarter. Should have been an and one. He missed the gimme layup, hit the free throws. But then he had a steal, got it out to Batum early in the second quarter. He drew an offensive foul as well. I'm not saying he didn't have bad plays too, but there were more positives than there had been the first two games from Kevin Porter Jr. He banked in a three-pointer, but he's still, I think, 5 for 25 overall from the field so far as a Clipper, and that's miserable. And I know that's what he's at. 5 for 25 through 3 games. That is Russell Westbrook in the playoffs last year against Dallas type stuff. Maybe not quite as bad. Who's 8 for 42? It's bad. It's rough. There's no way to spin it positive. Outside of saying he looked better the last game. Is that progress? We'll find out Wednesday. Doesn't mean he's just going to incrementally get a little bit better each game. Mike Dang said the bench is a big plus. Once KPJ gets going, it'll hopefully make them even more potent. Yeah. As Ryan Dunn just hit a three-pointer to start the fourth quarter. Far side corner three. Suns within 4 out of Virginia, but only took 35 threes in college. Looks like a good pickup by the Phoenix Suns. That's trouble in the Pac-Div. And now he just stripped Jackson Hayes right to left. Here comes Bradley Beal. Gives it up. Oh, that wasn't Beal. That was O'Neal who got it to Bradley Beal down the right side of the lane for the layup. So Phoenix Suns within 2, 83-81. Let's go, Phoenix. I don't normally say that, but, they're playing the Lakers. If KPJ got going and was actually knocking down more shots next to Ivica Zubac, Amir Coffey, Chris Dunn, and Nico Batum, with the defense that 5-man group has been playing, even with KPJ, they have been working the backups of the Denver Nuggets and then the Golden State Warriors yesterday. They have made runs. Those guys, man, it has been really impressive to see them go to work and to see Coach Lue recognize that lineup. Guys, Coach Lue has not got enough credit so far for this quick start to the season, considering Kawhi's out, no Paul George now, new players, they're figuring things out. I don't think we've talked enough about Coach Lue. We've talked about Jeff Van Gundy, rightfully so. Defense has been phenomenal, but I think Coach Lue has gotten the most out of this 10-man rotation currently. As I'm pulling up the lineup data so far for the Clippers, I want to let you know what those 5 guys have been able to do. So if we go to minutes played total so far, that might give us a little bit more insight here. There are plus 10 in 14 minutes. The lineup of Nico Batum, Chris Dunn, Ivica Zubac, Amir Coffey, and Kevin Porter Jr. Last couple of games starting, I don't know if they started the second quarter against Denver, but they did against Golden State and the fourth quarter, winning their minutes, plus 10 out there. They're shooting 50% from the floor, 40% from 3. They're 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Again, small sample sizes. But the positive thing is they're a plus 10. Now, I look at the lineup that has played the most minutes so far, 42. That would be your starting lineup with James Harden, Norman Powell, Derrick Jones Jr., T-Man, and Big Zoo. They're a minus 22 in 42 minutes. They're shooting 44.7% from the floor, 21.4% from 3, 80% at the free throw line, but they've lost their minutes by 22. And I know there's a discussion to be had about the starting lineup and people saying, well, it's time to pull Terance Mann after 3 games. And I do want to talk about that. Yeah, William Blast. That alley-oop dunk from 60 feet out from James Harden in airplane mode was insane. TT said this team feels special. Chris said, as a Clippers fan for life, I don't know which team I dislike more, the Suns or the Lakers. I want them both to lose. For me, it's easily the Lakers, but I'm from Sacramento, so it goes back a ways. Suns up by 1, 9:34 left in the fourth. Scotty Bossy said, would be a nice blowout. It would be nice to blow out the Blazers Wednesday. A little fourth quarter rest for the starters and some run for the young guys, especially with another back-to-back. It would be nice. I don't think you should overlook anyone, though. Currently, Portland's down big to Sacramento, and they're down 11 with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. But remember, they just smoked the Pelicans at home. Early in the season, not only are you going up against very talented teams, of course, in this league, even if they have youth and inexperience, and that is certainly the case with the Portland Trail Blazers, we expect them to finish probably at the bottom of the West. But this early in the year, those teams also have more hope. They're aiming to try to be in the play-in. Can they be 9th or 10th? I promise you that's probably the goal. Everybody has that hope early, and you can see some upsets because of that. Later in the season, you're out of the playoff picture. Can be a very different story for some of these teams. Ooh, long outlet pass to D'Lo for the layup. Tie game at 86. Just under 9 minutes left in Phoenix. Yawning Tears said, how do you feel about Batum taking minutes away from Kai? Necessary evil? Well, it was the right matchups. Against Denver, you could do it because Sarge isn't very good. He's just not that physical. He is more of a finesse player. And then against the Golden State Warriors, they were playing smaller at times. Batum can go against them. I think Kai got run the first quarters of each of the last two games. Ooh, wow. Devin Booker bounced pass to Ryan Dunn, who just Euro stepped through the lane for the reverse layup. Phoenix up by 4. Just about 8.5 left in the fourth quarter. This Ryan Dunn is looking pretty damn good as a rookie right now. So 3 Dozen says, what up, Adam? Kai has looked lost at times. This is not the preseason. I assume he'll get run against Portland. But if Ivica Zubac played 37 minutes and then 39 minutes, make it 39 then 37, I think. Either way, it was almost 40 combined minutes in back-to-back nights. They need him to. One against Jokic, where I think he played the 39 to match Jokic's 37 and then some. And then he played 37 against Golden State because he was that good. They need him out there to win the game. He's 27 years of age. Someone had brought up that, they're just getting their sea legs right now. They're getting into game shape. It's too early. And that's the reason you're seeing some fatigue from James Harden. It could be that. Or it could be he's 35 and he's played an average, I think, 38 minutes or 39 minutes per game so far through 3. Mikey Lapp said, I'm all for Batum getting minutes. I mean, how often does Batum lose his minutes, guys? He could end up with a Tony Snell 0-0-0-0, but he'll still be like a plus 10 out there. That's Nico Batum. So when you can play him over Kai, you should. If there's a more traditional backup big and you have to go with Kai, I get it. I thought he looked okay with his backup minutes against Plumlee opening night. But since then, even that game, there was a possession where there was miscommunication with him and Nico Batum, and he let a guy get a wide open jumper, and Batum had some words with Kai Jones, some instruction for him afterwards. Joe Martin said, why don't they play Bones Highland? I've just been talking about this. They haven't been playing him for a while. I don't think he's their guy. I don't think he's their point guard. He's too inconsistent. He hasn't looked great in the preseason, up and down play. And KPJ is getting the look. They want to see what they have with him. And the reason I think they're doing that is because they know Harden can't play this many minutes, guys. What I noticed in that game the other night was Derrick Jones Jr. was bringing it up late against the Golden State Warriors. And he has had some issues here and there doing just that. Being the ball handler, bringing it into the front court. I believe he lost it and then fouled Pods. And then there was a loony layup over Zubac. It was 101-97. And then there was a timeout. And after the timeout, Derrick Jones Jr. tried to bring it out into the front court again and threw it into the backcourt. It was a backcourt violation as he was looking for Ivica Zubac. I'm not going to say there wasn't mental fatigue on him too, but the reason he was bringing it up is because they're trying to save James Harden's legs. And to me, that's a little bit concerning 3 games in. I know it's the second night of a back-to-back, but he's had to log heavy minutes. They're trying to win games. They're trying to keep pace with the Houston Rockets. I don't know if they're worried about that, but I am. I'm sure it's been brought up how OKC is going to take whichever team has the better first-round pick between them, as long as Houston's isn't within the top 10. It's top 10 protected. Royce O'Neal straightaway 3, long off the back of the iron. Anthony Davis skies for the rebound. Lakers ball down 2, 90-88, 7:30 left fourth quarter. But it's game 3. If the hypothesis here is, well, Harden's just not in NBA game shape yet, it takes guys a little bit to get their legs early in the season. Maybe that's true. Maybe I'll ask Coach Lue on Wednesday about that. Maybe it's because he's 35. Maybe it's because he already played 40 minutes game 1 in an overtime game against Phoenix, and so much is demanded of him. They already are trying to make sure to take the ball out of his hands and have him playing off ball more to preserve his energy so he can have more gas in the tank. Now, that's smart. I'm not saying it isn't. We knew coming into the season that's part of the plan, more Harden off ball. That's how you're going to keep him fresh enough to survive the season. I just also think it's game 3, and he's looking a little bit tired. Mike Dang said, what nickname we going with for Dunn DJ lockdown duo? That's a good question. Dunn, Derek, D&D. D&D. People are talking about putting you in the dungeon. The Dungeon Master, D&D. Dungeon and Dragons. I don't know. Sorry, I was workshopping that on the fly. Richard Heacock said, Ty Lue has never received the credit he deserves. He's dealt with so many injuries as a head coach, as our coach, and we continue to consistently win. I mean, they went 42-40 with 31 games from Paul George and 0 from Kawhi Leonard during the 21-22 season. That's all you need to know about Coach Lue. When Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris had to lead them, my God, what a move from Anthony Davis. Draws the foul and 1. Lakers up by 1, 91-90. AD is looking like he's going for the MVP right now. Sammy Beans 95 said, what do you think the likely outcome is for PJ Tucker before the All-Star break? I think they'll have something worked out before the All-Star break, if that's what you're asking. I just don't know who's trading for him. Do you have to add something else? Bones, somebody else, a second-round pick to get off of his contract? Do you have to bring in another bad contract? Is it enticing to some teams because PJ Tucker's on an expiring deal? I don't know. Richard Heacock said, Portland has a lot of size. We may need more minutes from Kai. It may be more difficult to play small. Ayton, Klingon are bigs. Yeah, what's DeAndre Ayton averaging right now? I know tonight he has 16 and 8. Suns are going to blow this game. I know it. After mounting a comeback, I'm already annoyed. DeAndre Ayton. Has he been eaten? Let's see. Game log. So, game 1, 10 and 11. Game 2, 10 and 15. Game 3, 17 and 12. Currently is at 16 points, late third quarter against Sacramento. Not spectacular numbers. Big Zoo has been better so far. I think for the most part, Ivica Zubac has been pretty good against DeAndre Ayton. They've had some matchups. Obviously, 2021 playoffs. 2023 playoffs. Ivica Zubac, that was one of the few times he's ever disappointed me. Honestly. He didn't play well enough. Now, so many guys were out. Big men are dependent on guys getting them the basketball, but that is one of the rare times where Vita Zubac disappointed me. That Mexican Nara said, but does that matter if they simply trade either of the picks away? You got to add more to that. What are you talking about? That Mexican Nara said, or if the Rockets decide to tank, I say give up on the pick. Too many uncontrollable variables. But what is the benefit of not winning if you're the Clippers right now? Even if you take the pick out of it. Okay. What's the benefit of not winning? If you're not winning, you still fall behind Houston. They take your pick. If you are winning, they still might be able to get your pick depending on how the ping pong balls go. But if you're ahead of Houston, your odds are better that you end up keeping the pick. What's the benefit here, Nara? Yeah, the Rockets could tank, but they're probably too good to do that. Ime is probably not doing that. Ooh, my TV's a little bit behind. I got to catch up here on the stream. I see the Lakers are actually down by 3 on the scoreboard. Too much scoreboard watching by me. It's early in the season, but I can't help myself, guys. I'm already locked in. Built different. Oh, turnover. Bradley Beal down the right side of the lane. Scoop layups in 97-94. Houston by 3. 4:40 left here in the fourth quarter. LeBron clanks a near side corner 3. Houston comes down with the board. Kevin Durant brings it in from right to left, crosses the half court line, gets a screen from Plumlee. Plumlee now dives towards the basket. KD gives up to Booker. Booker, dotted line, fall away, off the back of the rim. No foul. He fell to the floor. Austin Reeves was right there. 4:30 left. Lakers with the basketball, down by 3. Back to the Clippers. You could say just don't even worry about the pick. Who says they have interest on Jimmy? Who does? The Clippers or Houston? And 1 for Austin Reeves, tie game. A high pick to trade helps that. You think Houston is bad enough to get a top 10 pick? I don't know. Houston's got a lot of talent. That's what I believe. And a coach who I think wants to win and prove something now. They want to build off of last season, guys. The Rockets, I think, won 41 games, and they were flirting with getting in the play-in, but they faded right at the end of the season. Instead, Golden State got in. Houston's 2-2, the Rockets. They took that loss to Charlotte in game 1. They bounced back against Memphis. Then they lost at San Antonio and then won against San Antonio. I just don't see them being bad enough to get a top 10 pick. So therefore, Clippers got to stay in front of them. Lakers in front of Phoenix, 98-97. Like, people have talked about low-key, the Rockets might go after Kawhi. I've heard that stuff. That report was out there, I think, this summer at one point. I don't know if you guys remember that. Ime Udoka is not one to want to tank. They want to win. They have the talent to do so. They just signed Şengün. They just signed Jalen Green. Why do you think they're going to be that bad? That's what I want to know. Mike Dang said, I don't think the Clippers are thinking about the pick. They're just trying to win games. I don't think any of the players are. I don't think any of the coaches are. But I'm sure it's not lost on the front office of what can happen. It doesn't need to be a focus for them, but we can still talk about it. I don't necessarily want them to be thinking about it. It's a side effect of winning games, you could say. A good one. Staying in front of Houston. Holding on to a first-round pick after they've given up so many and continue to OKC. So it's a subplot to this season is what I'm calling it. I think it's fun. Houston will face the Clippers 4 times. 4. So those games will be critical, pivotal. And I just like the fact that the Clippers have started 2-1 against solid competition. I mean, winning in Denver for the first time in almost 4 years, they've really gathered some good information, have gotten some good lessons through 3 games, the Clippers. They've learned a lot about themselves already. That's what I like. How to win late. They're going to be in a lot of crunch time, clutch time ball games. Can they do enough? They have already played the most clutch time minutes, I think, at 17 through 3 games. Yawning Tears said, could we spin PJ as a trade for the Cooper flag sweepstakes, like the ultimate tank move to get something back? What? Anyone want to help this guy out? Is this a timeout? I'm almost offended. They're not getting in the Cooper flag to capture the flag sweepstakes. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Because if their pick this season was that low or that high, that close to being number one, OKC's taking it. That's how it works. Thank you, Mike. Optimus Prime 1213 said, how are you doing tonight? I'm good. I'd be better if Phoenix would take down the Lakers and send them to their first loss. Nobody believed me. I thought the Lakers could be a top 4 team if they're healthy. JJ Redick's like that. I'm telling you. 98-97, 4 minutes left. KD fadeaway, right elbow, bucket. 99-98, Phoenix by 1. That's what I wanted to see. Phoenix hosting the Lakers at Footprint Center. Screen from AD for Austin Reeves. Gets into the paint. Push shot. Friendly roll. Lakers back up by 1, 100-99. Well, Phoenix is going to have to break Lawler's law here. Yawning Tears said, haha, not for us to get Cooper flag, for another team to get flag. I don't want to think about that right now. People are already joking that OKC is going to get Cooper flag from the Clippers. Oh, KD, what a move on AD. They call the fouls. He slipped in the paint. He'll head to the line for 2. Anthony Davis is contesting the call. Mike Dang said, okay, that makes sense. Call 2025, Cali 2025, said we should easily stay in front of Houston. Houston hasn't been the same since Yao and McGrady. What do you think? Like, the recent history has, or from way back then, what do you mean since Yao and McGrady? They had one of the best teams ever that happened to run into the Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. Cali 2025, this has the timeout written all over it. That Houston team with James Harden and CP3 is one of the better teams in the modern era. And the only reason they didn't win a ring is because wrong place, wrong time. They had to mess around and face the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. Yao McGrady. Houston was good for a long time under Daryl Morey and James Harden. Optimus Prime also hoping for a Lakers loss. Can Phoenix break Lawler's law? They're up by 1, 101-100, 3:30 left in the 4th. Mayor McCheesy said, do you feel another trade will come up for the Clippers if they are in the playoff chase? I don't know, man. Let me know in January. Ask me that question. What do you mean by playoff chase? Be a little bit more specific, Mayor McCheesy. Easy Mac with the cheesy raps. R.I.P. Mac Miller. One of my favorites. What a weak foul. Bradley Beal, rear view contest, puts Austin Reeves to the floor. I think he's going to be at the free throw line when we return. 3:21 left. Phoenix up by 1. Yao and McGrady. Yeah. What was that guy talking? Cali 2025. I guess dude was put in the freezer. Did he just get thawed out like Austin Powers? Where has he been? Houston's had some really good teams. Mike Dang said, I do like me some T-Mac. Or was that a Big Mac? Either way. T-Mac is one of my all-time favorite players. There was a 3-year stretch where I do believe he was better than Kobe Bryant. But then injuries mounted. It's almost like he was a Clipper with all the injuries he had to go through. He deteriorated very quickly. The back and the knee wasn't fair. T-Mac missed his entire prime, his prime years taken from him. I know people are going to say he didn't get out of the first round. Look at how bad those Orlando teams were. Also, for those who believe in Doc Rivers and not making enough playoff adjustments when you're up 3-1 on Detroit, McGrady was great. McGrady, his first, I think, 4 or 5 years, had a top 5 all-time playoff average. He was like at 28 points per game in the playoffs. He was insane. Richard Heacock said, it's 3 games in. Let's talk about winning. There is no logical case for the Clippers to tank. None whatsoever. Okay. I agree with you. Why would they tank? I'm still waiting for Nara to let me know about that one. Doesn't make any sense for the Clippers. Mayor McCheesy said, I love it. Lakers tied up at 101 with one more free throw to go for Austin Reeves. Gabe Vincent having a conversation with JJ Redick, who looked like he just told him to switch. Optimus Prime 1213 said the Milwaukee Bucks have not been the same since Doc Rivers took over. And they've also had a lot of injuries. You got to look at all of it. Integrating Damian Lillard. Did they take a bad L tonight? Oh, they lost to Brooklyn. Oh no, that was yesterday. Yeah, that's a bad loss. Brooklyn's trying to tank. Mike Dang said T-Max off the glass, oops to himself, was pure fun. Yeah, I remember that in the 0-1 All-Star game, I think it was. It was the first one I saw. Couldn't believe that. 101 all, 3:11 left, fourth quarter. Kevin Durant, topside from 35 feet out on the right wing, has Gabe Vincent on him. Foul line extended, far side jumper. KD buries it. 103-101. 3 minutes left, fourth quarter. Lakers with the basketball from left to right. LeBron crosses the half-court line, orchestrates the offense, handoff pass to Austin Reeves. Reeves with it. Beal on him. A screen from AD. Goes to his right, to the right elbow. Thought about it, gave it up to Anthony Davis. He's got it just above the free throw line from 16 feet out. Now pulls up left elbow from 17. In and out. Kevin Durant with the rebound. Let's go, Phoenix. Optimus Prime 1213 said that's true too. Here's KD with the basketball. Has it topside. Rui on him. Looks for a screen from Beal. Wants to get back on that switch with Spencer. Has him. Now drives left. Gets into the paint. Double team comes with Rui. Off the glass anyways from about 8 feet out on the left side. KD finds the angle. Brought out the protractor. 105-101. Phoenix up by 4 with 2:08 left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Austin Reeves now, back the other way. Gives it up to LeBron on the left wing. Lakers down by 4. LeBron, left wing, three-pointer, rattles home. 105-104, just under 2 minutes left. Lakers trailing by 1. Come on, Suns. Do not blow another close game late. Didn't they have this problem last year, chat? The Phoenix Suns in late game situations. Bounce pass to Beal. Beal had a foul line extended far side, goes back to AD, closer to midcourt. Now on the right wing, drives down the right alley, kick out, Booker, near side, corner 3, off the front of the rim, Plumlee rebound, back out Durant, has it top side, now to the left elbow, back to Book, back to Durant. They're swinging around the perimeter to Beal. Beal to O'Neal, thought about a three-pointer. O'Neal now floater in the lane, bottom. 107-104. Phoenix back up by 3, 126 left, fourth quarter. Lakers ball, left to right. Here's LeBron James. Has it topside, drives. Kick out back to Austin Reeves. He's got above the break. Back to LeBron. Now on the right wing. He's got O'Neal on him. LeBron calling out orders. Doesn't want a screen, wants to ISO now. Thought about a step back 3 now. Bounce pass to Austin Reeves, who feeds Anthony Davis inside. Didn't get the foul on Mason Plumlee. Phoenix comes up with the board as Kevin Durant right to left into the front court. On the right wing, here's Devin Booker as they slow things down. Less than 1 minute left. Phoenix up 107-104. Booker to KD. KD standing at the Phoenix Suns logo. He's in the fire like he's on NBA Jam right now. Gives it up to Booker on the left wing. Booker crosses the lane. Right elbow jumper blocked by Anthony Davis, but there was a foul. Offensive foul. Ooh. Devin Booker, I think, caught Anthony Davis. Let's go, Buns, says JJ the boy. That Mexican Nara said, I didn't say the Clippers should tank. I said what's stopping the Rockets from tanking in order to keep their pick. You kind of asked about the Clippers, didn't you? All right, my mistake. That Mexican Nara. Or for the Thunder to trade either pick swap since they only have one to swap. I don't know. Maybe we're getting too far ahead with the pick swap talk. We discussed it with Justin Russo earlier today. Mike Dang said, can't wait for the Dunn versus Dunn matchup after Portland. Chris Dunn versus Ryan Dunn. Now, I don't have the sound on. I believe this is Lakers ball. Was there an offensive foul on Booker? If anybody can let me know. Miss Shake says, love the real-time analysis. Can't stand the Lakers and their fans. Do you love the Suns fans? MKXLNT. Anthony Davis has 29, 40 seconds left. Lakers trailing by 3. Are they reviewing this call? Yeah. Booker got AD after he blocked the shot. It looks like Devin Booker swipes down and hits Anthony Davis in the eye. Bit of a cheap shot there. AD has now a towel up to his right eye. Didn't he have this issue last year and started wearing some goggles at some point? That looked a little bit intentional by Devin Booker. That looked a little bit like a cheap shot. Oh, Mayor McCheesy said good commentary. Miss Shake said nope about the Lakers. So Lakers are going to inbound far side they're in the front court. Here's an over-the-top pass to LeBron. Back out. Austin Reeves, right wing three-pointer long. A battle for the board. Who's coming up with it? Oh, it's Kevin Durant off a save by Devin Booker as he was falling out of bounds on the near side baseline. 107-104. About a 9-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Lakers don't have to foul, but I think Phoenix just called a timeout. Yes, they did. Coach Bud. Phoenix ball up 107-104. 24 seconds left in the ball game. 13 on the shot clock. This is getting spicy. Austin Reeves, I thought that was going to go. Oh, Devin Booker saved it, falling out of bounds. They might want to review that and see if he was out before he saved the basketball. But I think he got rid of it before his left foot was down. Either way, spectacular hustle play by D Book after dotting AD in the eye. The possession before. Yawning Tears said, Adam, who do you think is currently the Clippers' biggest rival, if any? That is a good question. Clipper Nation could answer this. Honestly, you guys can decide this. I know it's subjective, but I think this is a decent Gallup-like poll. Who do you guys think the Clippers' biggest rival is? Phoenix has beat them 3 times in the playoffs. Can you call them a rival? I think you can still be a rival even if one side is dominated. Like, don't tell me the Yankees and Red Sox weren't a rivalry even before the Red Sox finally beat them in 2004. They were. They hated each other. That, to me, is what makes the rivalry, not whether or not it's going back and forth. Mayor McCheesy says the Warriors. Mike Dang said, fasten your seatbelts, gang. We're going down to the wire. Suns basketball. Looks like Royce O'Neal inbounding on the far side. Here at Footprint Center, Suns up 107-104. They give it to KD, make it Beal in the backcourt. He crosses into the front court from right to left. Lakers don't have to foul. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. KD back to Beal. Beal to Booker, near side corner. Lose the basketball. Now crosses the lane. Kick out to Royce O'Neal. He has to fire with 1 second left on the shot clock. In and out. A battle for the basketball, and Anthony Davis came up with it, but there's a foul underneath. Who is it on? They're calling it on the Suns. Oh, this is on Bradley Beal, who was fighting for the rebound with Austin Reeves. So are the Lakers in the bonus is my question, because in that case, you could just say it's an intentional foul, so they can't get up a three-pointer. I'd be okay with that. I think you should foul when you're up by 3, as Phoenix is 107-104. I said that the other night. The game in Denver. Don't let Jokic get off a 3 to tie it. And guess what happened post-game? Coach Lou said, it was a mistake. With 14 seconds left or whatever it was, they let Jokic try to tie the game, who had already made 7 3-pointers. So we're getting some answers in here regarding the biggest rival. Jonathan Ing, straddling the fence, saying Mavs or Suns. Ex-Mongo Project said the second apron's the biggest rival. That's funny. Richard Heacock said the Mavs. Cali 2025 is back. He said, I say Memphis and Lakers. Memphis is an interesting call. Cali 2025, good to see you back in. Because for a while, it was definitely Memphis, guys. You played them back-to-back years. They alternated wins in the first round. First, the Clippers winning in 7, and then Memphis in 6. Clippers winning in 2012, Memphis winning in 2013. Do I have that right? Jonathan Ing said, I hate the Suns and cannot stand their fans. Mikey Lapp said, in here now, and now it's Suns and Mavs. You got to pick one. Yawning Tears said, yeah, maybe the Mavs. Clippers own the season series 2-1 in the playoffs. All 3 series played in the first round. JJ the boy said, I hate the Lakers with a passion. That Mexican Nara said, Suns, in my opinion, they beat us in the Western Conference Finals. I think they're reviewing this foul. Austin Reeves takes a dive here. I don't think this is a foul on Bradley Beal. I don't know what just happened on the left block. Lakers bring it in. Down by 3. They'll inbound on the near side. D'Lo to LeBron. LeBron gets off a three-pointer, but he was fouled beforehand. That is the way. Coach Bud, don't let him get a 3-ball up. LeBron to the free throw line. 6.4 seconds left. Phoenix up by 3. 107 to 104. Ooh, I like what I'm seeing here. And no, he's not going to the line for 3. I don't believe. Don't have the sound on, chat. Not plugged in with the official's microphone. LeBron, the Achilles heel, but makes the first of 2 if he has one, is at the charity stripe. 107-105. One more free throw for LeBron. 6.4 seconds left. Yusuf Nurkic is in for rebounding purposes. He'll be on the left block. Mikey Lapp said Suns win. I am a little bit behind here. Ball bounces around. LeBron misses the second. Throws it up ahead. Yes, Bradley Beal will run it down to 0.8 seconds left. Austin Reeves fouls him. Knocked down both free throws, and this is over. LeBron missed the second. I told you, it's his Achilles heel. It's his only flaw in his game. The charity stripe. It looks like Phoenix is going to hold on with 0.8 seconds left because I don't think the Lakers have another timeout. Therefore, he could miss the second one, and the Lakers would just have to heave a shot within 0.8 seconds in their own backcourt. First of 2 from Beal is up and through. 108-105. 0.8 seconds left. Let's go, Phoenix. Only time I'll say this, because they're playing the Lakers. Mike Dang says, Mwah. How about that? Jonathan Ng knows what I'm talking about. Got to foul up 3. You do. That was a mistake by the Clippers the other night. I said it on the broadcast. Bradley Beal knocked down both, so they're up 4. Game over. 109-105 is your final. Austin Reeves heaved it up to no avail. Phoenix on top of the Lakers sends them to their first loss of the season. Now they're 3-1. It is the free throw line. Did I broadcast jinx LeBron bringing up that it is his Achilles heel when typically that means he should have made it, right? He misses the second. Lakers take their first loss. Richard Heacock says, yes, sir. The poor, humble Lakers fans take a loss. Is that sarcasm? Ray said, appreciate your play-by-play. I'm like that. Mikey Lab said, LeBron really can't shoot free throws. Now, in the biggest moment of his life, at the free throw line, in Game 7 at Oracle Arena in 2016 against the Golden State Warriors, LeBron missed the first, but made the second to put him up by 4 to seal the game. He had to make one. He overcame his biggest flaw in the biggest moment of his career. And by the way, was about to have the nastiest throwdown ever over Draymond Green, who had to intentionally foul LeBron, who went to the floor at the very end of that game, if you remember. Mike Dang said, we all jinxed LeBron. Ray said, I tried going on to NBA TV, and of course, it's blocked in Los Angeles. Pro Bowley said, how much improvement do you think this Lakers team will have with Redick at the helm, or do you feel they'll be kind of the same? I think it depends on how many games he gets out of LeBron and AD. If they both play 70 again, I think they could win 5 more games. I think they'll win 50 games. I don't know if that's realistic. In back-to-back years, LeBron now, who's about to turn 40, and AD with his checkered injury past, can both stay healthy for 70 games like they played last year. LeBron at the wall could be fun. Oh, it will be. It will be. You will be. JJ the boy said, good Laker fans were already being obnoxious being 3-0. If they went 4-0, not only will the fans be annoying, but ESPN will have them as favorites. Yeah. Mike Dang said, Cleveland LeBron was more enjoyable than Elwood LeBron. Well, yeah. I said after the 3-1 comeback against the Golden State Warriors, I'm okay with calling LeBron the GOAT. Like, I think it's that close. I thought back in 2016, yes, it was a toss-up between him and Mike after that. You beat a 73-win team. Yeah, I know Draymond missed a game, deservedly so. They still had him for 6 of them. And he still, went 7 of 7 in game 7? Draymond dropped 30 in that game 7. They were up by 9, I think, at the half. But Coach Lue came up to LeBron, said he had to be more aggressive. LeBron didn't like it at first, talked with James Jones. The rest is history. But yeah, anybody who puts on the purple and gold, it's easy to turn on them quick. Loving the new background, said Pro Bowly. Thank you. So back to the Clippers. Now that we got this Lakers loss, I want to play some video for you guys. Let's talk about Terance Mann a little bit. The numbers are not pretty offensively so far this season. And by not pretty, avert your eyes. I'll still run through them. It's only 3 games, but Terance Mann has only scored 10 points in 3 games. He is 5 of 15 from the floor. He is 0 of 4 from 3. The O doesn't scare me as much as he's only taken 4 3-pointers in 3 games. That's what's alarming. That's what I don't like seeing. Terance Mann getting off to a slow start once again. I want to say through the first 21 games of last season, he shot 24% from 3. The last 50 games, though, he shot 44% from 3. He shot 45% from 3 against Dallas in the first round. And this is why I'm not giving up on Terance Mann like some of you guys. Mayor McCheesy said, Adam, I loved your interview with Ralph Lawler. Hope we see more good Clippers interviews like that with Clippers legends. I'll do my best. Appreciate the love. Bonesaw said, T-Man looks out of rhythm on offense. You look out of rhythm. You didn't start with your usual. Is Brian Seaman. Mike Dang said, it's not about how much T-Man scores. It's about how many shots he takes. I agree. He has to be aggressive. He has to be assertive. He has to look at the rim and look for a shot. Taking 4 3-pointers so far in 3 games is not good enough. It's not. It's not close. He's played a total of 8 plus, 66 minutes so far. And he's taken 4 threes. However, I will say this about Terance Mann. I'm not giving up because I just saw him over a 50-game stretch shoot 44% from 3 last season, guys. 44% over 50 games is not nothing. It's impressive. He's a 37% career 3-point shooter. Oh, you want to bring up his volume? He only takes a couple per game. Great. I'll bring up how he's taken over 700 threes in his career and is at 37%. Terance Mann has more potential in him. They need it to come out now. They need him to be at his best now. It's not good enough to take 4 3-pointers on a team that desperately needs 3-point threats and guys who are willing shooters, because that's how you're going to stretch the floor and make life easier for James Harden and Ivica Zubac and Norman Powell. Now, he plays into it because he's a good 3-point shooter and he's been taking them. 22 points in the fourth quarter against Denver. Mayor McCheesy said, still early for T-Man. Give him some time. The other reason is I'm not just talking about his shooting. Well, they need that badly. His defense against Luka Doncic in that series, guys, that's the best defense he's ever played. He held Luka to 38% from the floor. Oh, but you want to say Luka was banged up. Well, guess what? Luka got more and more banged up as the playoffs went along, yet he shot a much better field goal percentage against other defenders like Dort, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels. So he progressively was getting more and more banged up, yet still shot his worst percentage against Terance Mann in the first round and the Clippers. Richard Heacock said, I'm not worried about T-Man shooting. He'll come along. I'm more worried that he doesn't look comfortable in the offensive end, not nearly the aggression he can bring. He needs more easy looks. I thought he was okay against Phoenix. I thought he was solid in that game. he fouled out. He had a couple of bad fouls not go his way, or a couple of ticky-tack fouls go against him. But overall, he was solid and fouled out, I think, around the 3-minute mark. But his defense was good. He was having a solid game. He only took 1 3, I believe, but it wasn't a bad game. The last could be characterized as bad games from him, and that's why he didn't play heavy minutes or into the fourth quarter. Jonathan Ing said, I have no idea what is up with T-Man. He is way too good of a shooter to not be getting shots up. It's clearly confidence. Terance Mann, I think, is a perfectionist to a fault. We love him for it. It's why he's become this player. It's why he was talking about his last year at Florida State, maybe having to go play overseas. The Clippers draft him, 46 overall. He's become a very productive role player. He has had one of the biggest, if not the biggest, moments in the history of the Clippers franchise, 39 points in Game 6 to help get them to the Western Conference Finals for the first time. But I think he's a perfectionist to a fault where, I don't know, he really gets down on himself when he's missing. That's my guess. He's in his own head. It happens with shooters. It happens with just players. Pro Bowley said, surely the coaching staff spoke to him about an increased role offensively. Yes. Crazy how we have seen it with Zoo, but it hasn't happened with T-Man. I trust he will lock in soon. He has to. Look, Lawrence Frank talked about it at a press conference over the last, what was the one for Kawhi with him and Coach Lou. I think he talked about it then. Like, Terance Mann has to start faster. Mike Dang said, that said, it's less crucial for Mann to play well immediately since we have Dunn. Mann can show up when he does. Yeah, but Mann just got a contract extension, and Chris Dunn could end up taking the starting job from him if he doesn't perform better. That's the reality of the situation. I said during the offseason, I mean, Chris Dunn's the better point of attack defender. I've known this for a while. He is incredible. He is a defensive specialist in some ways. He's like Patrick Beverley. And you could have him in the backcourt next to James Harden, no problem. It would be like Pat Bev next to James Harden in Houston. I think he'd be comfortable there. But Terance Mann just started 71 games next to James Harden last season. So it'd be nice if he took that next step offensively, filled some of the scoring burden or void that was lost without Paul George and right now without Kawhi. Thomas said, I think T-Man is either scared to shoot and just doesn't want to play safe, perfect basketball and not make a mistake. Maybe. X-Mongo Project said, we need someone to run around and shadow the other team's best players. So if cardio is all he does, that's fine by me. Here's my problem. The cardio thing is a negative shot at Mann. And X-Mongo is obviously, I think, referencing my tweet here that I'll play for you because people are getting on Terance Mann so much after the game against the Golden State Warriors. And I could remember multiple plays where he played really good defense and he caused 4 turnovers at least in that game. So I want you to see this from Terance Mann. The quality is not going to be great, guys. It's going to be grainy. Make fun of it. Call it Zapruder film, whatever you want to do. But I'll play the volume very low and show you kind of what T-Man was able to do in that game. You guys can see what I'm seeing. So just watch Terance Mann chasing around Steph Curry. Here he is in the first quarter. Around the screen from Wiggins. Terance Mann meets him there. James Harden helps. Steph Curry thinks Wiggins, or I don't know if this is Kuminga, it's that grainy, is going to be there in the dunker spot and throws it out of bounds. There's one turnover caused by T-Man. On Steph. Early on. He only took 6 shots in the first half. And Mann was his primary guard. Here's a bounce pass into the post. Ivica Zubac is there for the rim protect. But I think on that play, what I wanted to highlight was, here's Terance Mann again, playing physical defense against Steph Curry. See T-Man. Stays with him right there. Couldn't get the ball back to Terance Mann. Stick to you like glue. Here's Terance Mann. Here's Steph. DHO. Steph Curry goes baseline. Zoo meets him there. Terance Mann chases him off. Gives it up to Draymond Green. Could have been an offensive foul there on Derrick Jones Jr. Puts it up. Zoo swats it away. Goes back out. Wiggins comes up with it. Back to Terance Mann guarding. Back to Steph Curry. Trailing Terance Mann. Terance Mann behind him in the rearview contest, and Curry pushes off of him. And Mann draws the offensive foul. Turnover number 2, caused by Terance Mann. Just hounding Steph Curry. Like, don't tell me he's just running around doing nothing and getting cardio. Terance Mann gets dapped up. Here's T-Man watching Curry in the far side corner. Golden State with the basketball. Draymond wants to kick this out. He doesn't want to take a layup. He rarely does that even anymore. He wants to get this to Steph Curry in the far side corner. Mann puts his arm out here to deny the pass. Comes up with a turnover here by the Clippers. This is what I'm talking about. Terance Mann, really good defense. Watch how closely he stays with Steph Curry, who can't shake him. Try to shake him. Nope. Got to give it up. Gives it up to Kuminga. Right wing three-pointer. In and out. Oh, Luka comes over the rebound. That would be Terance Mann. Hell of a possession. Now Terance Mann is on Draymond Green. He's guarding up here in the post. They think they have a mismatch. They go to him. Man, stout defense. Draymond's probably passing that anyways, but Mann's going to come up with the turnover here. Ball gets loose. Oh, Green tries to save it, goes behind his back. Terance Mann comes up with it, left to right. T-Man with the dunk. Terance Mann again here. Can't tell if this is Kuminga, I think, underneath the basket, but this is good help defense leading to another turnover. Terance Mann attacks it, guards the space. They throw it out of bounds. Who was that? There you go. 4 turnovers. Like, don't tell me that T-Man is doing nothing out there. I understand his offense needs to be much better. He needs to be better on that end. That is required now of him. But let's not, blow things out of proportion. It's been 3 games. He's contributed in other ways. Yawning Tears said, so I guess the question is, what do you have to see or not see for how long before you should go to the bench? If he continues to not shoot 3-pointers over the next 3 or 4 games, I'm probably putting him on the bench. I might give him 10 games, but not more than that. Mongo Project said, it also depends on how the Clippers are doing. Are they winning? If they're winning, I can live with Mann getting a little bit more time to find himself. But if it's contributing to losing, so to speak, or let me spit it out, if it's contributing to losing, him not being more aggressive, then I might have a shorter leash with him. Mongo Project says, I think he can do a lot pass, shoot, drive. That's why he freezes most of the time when he is open on the 3. He's not even attacking the closeouts enough, though. When they do close out on him on a wide open 3, attack the space, get to the basket. He's a top 3 finisher at the rim at the guard position the last 2 seasons. In the restricted area, he has a top 3 field goal percentage at the guard position. The only guy better than him last season was Luka Doncic in that area. Like, Mann is a great finisher at the basket. Les said, that's why it was so confounding to see him miss that layup yesterday. That had me thinking it's in his head. Les says, that was 1 game in the playoffs. People still LARP on that. No, it wasn't 1 game. It was a 6-game series, Les. 6 games against Luka Doncic. He held him to 38%. Go look at the matchup data. Luka didn't hit a 3 on him. Mongo Project said analysis paralysis sometimes, maybe. Yeah. Mike Dang said Dunn is willing to shoot. Yes, he is. And that's why if Mann doesn't get it going soon enough, I wouldn't be shocked to see Chris Dunn in the starting lineup. Chris Dunn so far, let's look at his shooting splits. 60% from the field, 44% from 3. And he's gotten up 9 threes, made 4 of them. And it's not huge volume. We're talking about a guy averaging 7 points per game, but he's at least taking what the defense gives him. He went on his own, Dario Saric in the 4th quarter against Denver for a floater or a tough bucket. And then against Golden State, he had the floater in the 4th quarter. When they didn't have many offensive options, he has taken it upon himself to go and get a bucket. Love seeing that from him. Bonesaw said, T-Man, we need 15, 6, and 4 from you. I don't think you're getting that every night. I think you could average 12. I think that's fair. Jonathan Inks said, man has to be better, especially because the margin for error is so small. No sugarcoating it. The Clippers do not have a luxury right now, especially with Kawhi currently on the shelf. No one's disagreeing with you. It's not a hot, obviously. Bonesaw said Draymond was trying to. Mongo Project said Adam turning into LA Clippers film. Nobody does it like Justin Wilson. Bonesaw said mess with Zoo's head. Proboli said people need to remember how well he played on Luka, increase his offensive load by 30%, and who will be exactly what we need. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what the dude Les was saying. It was one game in the playoffs. No, he was the primary defender on Luka for all 6 games, and he was spectacular. Luka shot 40% in the series, but he shot worse against Terance Mann, 38%. Mann was that good. It's the best I've ever seen him play. Mike Dang said the writings on the wall, Intuit Dome will become the dungeon in due time. It might. D&D factory. I don't know. Terance Mann has to look for his offense, period. Point blank. He knows it. The coaching staff, I'm sure, has told him. It's in his head, guys. And it's a shame that he's starting the year like this. But it's only 3 games. Not 5, not 10, 3. And the first game was solid. So really, you could say it's 2 bad games offensively. He did his usual stuff in transition. And I thought was more aggressive game 1. I thought somebody was asking me to come in for work for them tomorrow. Let's see what else we got here. Somebody's asking me to adopt a cat. Mikey Lapp said, everyone needs to relax with T-Man. He's a proven player for us. If he's not playing well, then bring Dunn in to take his minutes for the game. That's the other thing I'll emphasize here. We get way too fixated on starters and backups. Guys, it's not that serious. Like, who starts the game? It's not that serious. Who's finishing the game? Who's getting the most minutes? Just because Mann started the game yesterday didn't mean he got more minutes than Chris Dunn. Mann played 18. Dunn played 28. Mann was struggling more. Dunn wasn't. Ride the hot hand. Next game, it could go the other way. It's not that serious. I think, like, the coaching staff would be calling us casuals. I mean, maybe they wouldn't. But if I was them and I saw all the debate and all the talk about starting lineups all the time, it's probably overblown to a degree. Does Mann need to be better? Yes. But if he's not playing well, could sub him out. Is starting games important? Yes. But I don't think Terance Mann is the reason the starting lineup's a minus 22 so far. He's probably contributed to it, but I think there's more going on there. The Clippers aren't as talented. They've gotten down in some games. We know about that life. That guy Spencer said, can you join us in the wall? I would like to do that at some point. Maybe I could grab a handheld mic and get into the wall at some point while we're on the radio. Carlo Jimenez. Mikey Lapp said, everyone needs to relax. Yes, saw that. Mike Dang said, I'm done with the man slander. Dunn spelled D-U-N-N. Speaking of Chris Dunn. So earlier today on the show, we had Justin Russo on. Justin Russo. And he compared Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr., who have both been amazing. Derrick Jones Jr. offensively, guys, like, I really think I've been talking about him a lot this summer. I asked Coach Lou about him opening night, getting into the mid-range more. He told the coaching staff that's his shot. I'm really intrigued by the ceiling offensively of Derrick Jones Jr. We know who he is on defense. Does he have more to him offensively than we've seen just because he's a player that wasn't getting huge minutes early on in his career? He could just be coming into his own. Like, we don't know. There's untapped potential there. Right now, he's at 60% from 3 on the season, 67% from the floor. How many threes has he attempted here? So 10 total. and he's hit 6 of them to get to 60%. But he scored 12 points in game 1, 9 in game 2 against Denver. Then he had 18 against Golden State yesterday, where he started 5 for 5, 2 of 2 from 3. The other 3 makes, all dunks, including that one, on that lob from James Harden from the backcourt to Derrick Jones Jr. So before we get out of here, I don't have a ton of time left, but I want you to see what Justin Rousseau said about these guys and give you a little bit of a highlight mix here, because they have been absolute dogs in the rib cage all day. Not talking about hot dogs. He's got the wrong type of dogs in him. I've seen people say that before. So dumb, it's funny. But Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. are absolutely shut down corners that have had short memories when they miss shots on offense, just like a corner. But Justin Russo is a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so he compared him to a guy in the 70s, Mel Blount, and Troy Polamalu, who you're probably very familiar with. And here is this mix of some of the highlights that we've gotten from these two so far. This is just some phenomenal defense. Like, I can't tell you what Chris Dunn is able to do here. Watch how he cheats over to stop Steph Curry from attacking and just shrinking the floor with Ivica Zubac here. And then he jumps back to intercept the pass. Oh, my God. This is a rare gem of a defensive play against somebody like Steph Curry, an all-timer. Look at Steph. He thinks he's got him. He thinks he looked him off to the right. He goes back to his left, and he jumps the pass. That is the great passing, man. He took him to the end of Wiggins. Jones Jr. Oh, we didn't get enough of the highlight of this one. This was from game 1. The trap here, it looks like Bradley Beal tries to kick it back out. Nope, that's not happening. That's not getting to KD. There's a guy almost as long as him in front of him, and Derrick Jones Jr. He'll bring it from right to left now. Look at him in transition. Tough. Doesn't have to be a dunk all the time. So now we have Chris Dunn on Kevin Durant. This is the play where he just embarrasses him. Look at this. He's got his arm on the inside. Handshaking doesn't exist anymore. He follows him to the free throw line, pokes it away with the right arm like he's Kawhi Leonard, and comes up with the steal himself. Just a beautiful play. I think Mann finished that one. Here's another one from yesterday. It's late, though, here. Derrick Jones Jr. poking away, gets to the floor. Tough play. I'm guessing came up with the jump ball. I forget the play. There was another play between him and Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn keeping a ball alive for James Harden to throw up a grenade, a 30-foot three-pointer, and drain it against Golden State on an offensive rebound hustle play by both of them going for the ball at once because their level of effort, they just match each other in that area, Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. Here's DJJ on pods who wants to go baseline. Oh, but his counterpart here and Chris Dunn reads this pass beautifully. They're trying to kick it back to Steph Curry, who's over here on the left wing. Knocks it down, and then Steph hit it out of bounds. That ball went to the Clippers. See it one more time. Boom. Free safety. Here we got Kevin Durant here. Goes over the double team of Ivica Zubac and Chris Dunn. Plank. Here's KD with the pass inside. Derrick Jones Jr. and James Harden was there too. DJJ takes it away. Let's see. Golden State. Oh, is this the play? Oh, no, that wasn't the play I was thinking of, but I think this is going to be in the mix. This is just Chris Dunn brilliance again, getting in a passing lane. Like, that's just a really bad pass, too, by the way. Is that Gary Payton II? Here we got Buddy Hield on the left wing. Tries to pass it inside. I think he's got Moody. Long arm of the law. Left arm, to be exact, of Derrick Jones Jr. James Harden comes up with it. Throws it off a player. I think that ended up going back to Golden State by the end of that. Here's Michael Porter Jr. attacking. Derrick Jones Jr. gets the right arm in this time. Swats the basketball down. Goes out of bounds on Michael Porter Jr. on his knee, as the ref pointed out. I love these guys. And like they're both better point of attack defenders than Terance Mann. There's no doubt about that. I didn't need to see 3 games to know that. Link said free Jordan Miller. Ex Mongo Project. Hey, Jordan Miller could play if the Clippers get up big on Portland, I think. Ex Mongo Project said, you think we'll rest Harden early versus Portland? If they're up. Don't underestimate anyone this early. Ray said that would be great, Ex Mongo. We probably won't get a Miller time though, as the G League training camp just started. Did he was he on roll call? I didn't see the G League team and who reported already. Richard Heacock said, I think Terance Mann should be more like Amir. Amir knows his go-to moves, 10 to 12-foot fadeaway, drives the lane on threes, do what you're good at and do it regularly. It's not a bad comment here by Richard because sometimes you talk about paralysis by analysis. A guy can have too big of a bag. I think, my friend Dime Dropper would talk about this. Kawhi has more of his sweet spots that he would go to all the time, while Paul George would freestyle more. And probably the better guy to take a shot at the end of the game because you could end up being anywhere on the floor, where Kawhi is going to try to get to his spots and the opposition knows that. But there is something to having, your sweet spots on the floor that you attack and know you can get to. Mike Dang said his ceiling is 10,000 feet. Is that Derek Jones Jr. airplane mode? That Mexican Nara said it won't affect winning the first few games, but teams will catch on and guard him less. I don't think it's bad to call him out on it. Terance Mann? No, of course not. He's got to be better. Wrestling Go Crazy said, what about James Harden? What about him? Mikey Lapp said, I can't believe the Mavs didn't keep Derek Jones Jr. Thomas said, Chris Dunn knows how to use his length to deflect the ball. We just saw it. I wish PG-13 would watch how Chris Dunn and Derek Jones Jr. would use his length to deflect the basketball. I mean, Paul George averaged, he's been, I think, top 5 in steals multiple times. I think Paul George uses his length pretty good. Deca Fantastic said, I can't wait to see a Kawhi, Mann, Dunn, Derek Jones Jr. Zoo lineup. Insane defensive potential. Yeah, I agree with you. Right now, people are probably saying Amir over Mann. Mike Dang said, I understand it. Like, Amir's been looking for a shot too. Amir Coffey, let's talk about him and what he's been shooting so far this season. I know he had the game against Denver where he got blanked. That could come across the wrong way, where he went over, but he bounced back right away. So he had 11 points on 4 of 4 shooting, 2 of 2 from the outside against Phoenix. Great game, played late, guarded Kevin Durant, and KD hit that tough shot over him and James Harden, but the defense was there. Then against Denver, he went 0 of 5, but still had a plus out there in the net rating. I thought he was still good. Like, he went 0 of 5, and I thought he still was good, productive, impactful. Against Golden State yesterday, 3 of 5, 1 of 1 from 3, 8 points. Amir has looked for a shot more than Terance Mann. Thomas said PG-13 has long arms and is 6'9", but he doesn't know how to use it. All he does is dribble, and shoot. I mean, Paul George finished 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year before. Like, I think he knows how to use it. Decker Fantastic said, underrated improvement of this team is passing for sure, year to year, year over year. Decker Fantastic says, Zoo passing-wise is the biggest improvement, even more than his scoring. I think it's been there for Zoo. I'm just not going to buy into this. Oh, look how much different Ivica Zubac is now. No, Ivica Zubac has been like this. I'm sorry. He didn't all of a sudden turn into a completely different player because he's averaging 23 and 12 right now. He just got the opportunity finally. Ray said Jordan is on the G League training camp list, but they put an asterisk next to his name and said he is on a 2-way. Maybe he doesn't need to report in. Wrestling Go Crazy said, what about James Harden? Is James Harden playing good? Yes. He's doing so much for them. Even though he's shooting 36% from the field, even though he just went 2 for 12 yesterday from 3, James Harden has been good. Knocked down the 4 free throws and a big jumper over Aaron Gordon late to win that game in Denver. Made a bunch of big shots over Jones of Phoenix. Tyus Jones I know he made some bad plays too late in that game, but they also were in it because of him. And then yesterday, James Harden was still orchestrating the offense. Like, he's been good. Is James Harden? You guys killing me with this inside joke. Goes crazy says, yeah, I just read that. I'm getting tired. You can tell. Ex Mongo Project said, is Zoo better than Sabonis? No, not currently, guys. Sabonis put up historic numbers last season with all the triple doubles for a big man. He's a much better passer than Zoo at the moment. Zoo's a better defender, but I'd still give Sabonis the edge because everything he does on the offensive end. I do think Sabonis has some fatal flaws where you can only be so good with him on the team because of his defense and rim protection. But no, not 3 games in. He's better than Sabonis, who is established. He's in an all-star already. Cat Sua Baller said Miller at backup point guard minutes. No, they're not going to task him with that, guys. They're not going to have him be the backup point guard. He doesn't have that type of handle, not from what I've seen. He can handle the ball some, but to be the backup point guard is different. Ray said, Jonathan Ing said, Amir has been great in all 3 games so far. His defensive activity is what is striking to me. Yeah, good point. The new Jeff Van Gundy schemes plays to his strengths, and having another defender like Dunn and Derek Jones Jr. complements him. They compliment everyone. Deca Fantastic said, go crazy. I am blocking you. Mike Dang said, Zoo is Western Conference Player of the Month nominee good? Sure, the month's almost over. We need you ready for the back-to-back at Intuit Terror Dome. Says Ray. Deca Fantastic said, what are you looking for when it comes to adjustments versus the Suns on Halloween? What do we need to do differently other than not turn it over as much? I mean, that's the biggest thing. They just didn't out-execute Phoenix late. They didn't get back in transition on a few plays where they got sloppy with their defense. They need to play the defense they played throughout most of the ball game for 48 minutes this time. And they were better or played more consistent defense against Denver and Golden State. Like when teams are going to make runs, Clippers are going to go into offensive lulls, especially with this team. They're 23rd offensively, but their defense hopefully is going to get, 4 out of 5 stops here and there on a team. And that gives them time to get their offense back in gear. That's what you're looking at with this Clippers squad right now. Al Mack said Bones should be the backup point guard. He needs the opportunity. He's gotten opportunities before. I agree. I think if he got the opportunity and James Harden didn't come in last season, he would be the backup point guard. But James Harden needed to come in. He's been the damn leader for this team. This is a James Harden team now. I just wish Bones somehow he would have gotten the opportunity over Russ last year. Mike Dang said, basically don't give up a 9-point lead in the 4th. Yeah, with 3:52 left. That Mexican Nar said, how many games would you give KPJ to figure it out? This is a good question. It's dependent on what their record is. There needs to be an urgency to win games. So if they go to 3-1, let's say they beat Portland, maybe they beat Phoenix 2 and they're 4-1. That gives you a little bit more of a leash and a longer runway for KPJ to figure it out. If they're 2-2 or 2-3 and he's still playing this poorly, I might make the move, but that might hurt you long term. Because if you can't tap into the potential of KPJ when you need him to be better, and if you don't give him the reps now to get back into game shape or NBA rhythm and timing, if that's what it is, if you think you can make something out of him, I don't know if you should give up this early. I don't know if the coaching staff will. What are you going to do? Send him to G League? I don't think so. Wrestling Go Crazy said Kawhi returns might be more dangerous than the PG team. It's hard to say, guys. I don't think they're going 26-5 over a 31-game stretch. I'm just going to say that right now. Swerve said, I don't like how you all spare KPJ, but don't go. Huh? I spare nobody. Nobody is exempt from criticism. What? Swerve said, I don't like how you all spare KPJ when he plays bad, but don't do the same for Bones. Bro, I love Bones. If it was up to me, Bones would be starting. I'm talking about what's likely to happen, what the coaching staff is going to do. KPJ obviously is in front of Bones. He's the one getting the first shot here. If he gets suspended, if he doesn't play well for an extended period of time, I would hope Bones gets a shot. I mean, I've been singing Bones' praises forever. I'm the holder of the skeleton key army. Al Max said, can we do better than Mo Bamba? No. Teams have flaws. They're under the first apron. How many good backup bigs are out there? That's what I will ask you. How many teams have these legit backup bigs? The key is Ivica Zubac plays 30 minutes plus every night, so you don't have to worry that much about backup bigs. With the small ball you can play with Batum, like that's the key. I still want to see Mo Bamba get healthy and see what he can do as a Clipper. He's a legit average three-point shooter at the big man position. There's something there. Yawning Tears said, what do you think of this fun Intuit idea? Every once in a while, like a calm early morning sea, sometimes the stadium goes silent for opponents' free throws. Then like a crashing wave erupts when they miss. Are there rules against that? Like I would guess, it's not like somebody can play a buzzer right before you shoot the basketball. Teams and arenas would have already done that. Mike Dang said KPJ just has more potential on both sides with his size and athleticism. He does. There's a damn YouTube mixtape on his defense. Look for it. Swerve said, just like to me, Bones' leash is short because I know if Bones played as bad as KPJ, he would have been benched by the second game. It's because, Swervo, the coaching staff feel like they have a good grasp on who Bones is and what his ceiling is. They don't know what it is with Kevin Porter Jr. They think it's higher, most likely, and that's why he's getting the opportunity. It's not like we haven't seen Bones some with the Clippers, and he hasn't gotten some big shots here and there. I think for the most part, when he's given serious minutes, he has performed, but he also has way underperformed when he's gotten, sparse minutes here and there. Al Max said, do you think Mo Bamba offers more than Kai Jones? Yeah, but I don't think it's as far as I thought it was. But, Kai Jones hasn't played much the last couple of games. He was okay against Mason Plumlee against Phoenix. Like, it's different at the NBA level, and Mo Bamba has proven more at this level than Kai Jones, but not a ton. Elijah said, who do you want to see step up during this back-to-back? Terance Mann, man. That's who I want to see step up. He needs to play better, right? It'd go a long way to see Terance Mann have back-to-back strong performances, being aggressive offensively, feeding off the crowd at Intuit Dome, the wall. I want to see that love affair with Clipper Nation and Terance Mann again. They've supplied energy to him in the past where when he's playing well, the crowd can fuel him. Yawning Tears said, when Bamba comes back, think Kai will go to the G League to get some more run? Yeah, probably. I don't think Kai has run away with the job yet. I thought if he played really well and continued to play in a similar fashion he did in the preseason at the NBA level, maybe Mo Bamba would be on the outside, but that hasn't happened through 3 games. No, they already didn't do the contract extension. That was news recently. Why would they extend a guy that they're not even playing and don't seem to believe in long term for this team? I think he's on the team currently and hasn't been traded only because they know if Kevin Porter Jr. gets suspended, they will need Bones Highland. Keep the questions coming. As soon as they stop, I'm going to bed. I'm taking a shower at least. Swervo said, do you think if Mann continues to play this bad that Dunn should start? Yeah, if he continues to play this bad, if he doesn't look for a shot. But give him 5 more games at least. Mike Dang said, no one left to step up except Mann. Everyone else has already been stepping up. Kind of right. Kevin Porter Jr. needs to step up. Swervo pointed that out. You're right, too. Not kinda. Just right. All right, I need to get right. Thoughts on the Kobe Brown extension? I don't know. I don't see him getting many minutes. I assume at some point he'll get a look. I don't know. Kobe Brown did not exactly inspire a lot of confidence with his game in summer league preseason. Got to earn minutes. MKX LNT said, "Who created the Clippers talk background art?" WTF, LOL, WTF, Eric. Ray said, "Can we get a Clippers talk review of the Intuit Dome food?" Man, I'm still trying to get to 10% body fat. I know I failed to get there by opening night, but that doesn't mean that I should get down on myself too much and just stop trying to achieve this goal. Ex Mongo Project said, "How real is the Harden fatigue? Can he sustain this?" I don't know. Someone brought up an interesting point. Maybe it's just tired legs because he's not quite in game shape yet 3 games in. Maybe that's it. I tend to think it's more fatigue. It's very taxing. We'll see. Could be a little bit of both. No, maybe not in this case. It's gotta be one or the other. But 2 days off, they play 2 games, 2 days off again, and they'll play a game, and a day off, like, we'll see. Young and Tier said, "I guess my question is why extend Kobe over Bones? Because Kobe's a young player, and I think they already know that Bones guys, they've tried to trade Bones in the past. Like, do you understand that part of it? They've tried to trade him. I think that means he hasn't exactly ingratiated himself with the coaching staff. Any team want PJ Tucker? You can answer that yourself. I got to go. It's almost 2 hours. I'm getting tired, guys. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. This has been another edition of Clippers Talk Live. We'll talk to you and have a new episode coming up tomorrow.